absolutely sure we weren't followed, are we, Jeeves?
Quite sure, sir.
No sinister-looking fellows with hats pulled down over their eyes lurking around the customs shed?
Only the customs officers, sir.
Good Lord, Jeeves. Look at the size of that boat.
I think the crew will be grateful if you refer to it as a ship, sir.
Really? Touchy about that, are they?
The vessel has, after all, a gross displacement of 43,450 imperial tons, sir. And the turbines allow him 52,000 shaft horsepower at the touch of a lever, sir.
Well, well, well.
Added to which, sir, she draws 38 foot in the water and is capable of maintaining a service speed.
I think that's enough about the technical side of things, Jeeves.
Very good, sir. Your stateroom, sir?
Ah. Thank you. I say, Jeeves, is it something like that?
You approve, sir?
I should jolly well think I do approve, yes. There's just one thing. Where do I sleep?
In here, sir.
Good Lord, Jeeves. And I thought it was going to be some sort of cupboard affair with you having to clamber up onto the top bunk.
The poor people do travel in such a style, I believe, sir.
Now, Jeeves, let us make sure that we have not overlooked any conceivable danger. Aunt Agatha can't possibly trace us now, can she?
I should have thought it extremely unlikely, sir.
Unlikely isn't good enough. Not when she's pursuing me, brandishing Honoria Glossop and demanding marriage with menaces.
If Mrs. Gregson asks at the club, she will be told that we are in Scotland, sir.
Good, good. By Jove, Jeeves, I thought my last hour had come when Honoria won me in that raffle.
Miss Glossop did appear to take the terms of what was essentially a mere game of hazard rather literally, sir.
Yes. Most girls who come to the drones dance are perfectly happy with a peck on the cheek and a bottle of Bollinger, but not Honoria. Oh, no.
Pardon me, sir, but this article appears to have found its way into our luggage.
Yes. Rather snappy, eh? I bought it at Bates.
I am surprised, sir.
Oh, come off it, Jeeves. I told them I was going to New York and they came up with the goods.
No mention was made of a carnival or fancy dress occasion, sir?
Jeeves, it's a perfectly good hat. I shall be the Beau Brummel of Broadway.
Of course, it is a great honor for me to command such a magnificent ship.
Ah, oui.
Oh, you speak French, Monsieur Wooster. Oh, c'est extraordinaire ces jours-ci de trouver un Anglais qui parle une autre langue.
Ah, oui. It's Bertie Wooster.
Mais qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Bertie! Tuppy!
This is not the sort of behavior we allow on this ship.
Who's the chap in the fancy dress? Oh, he's the captain. Nice fellow. Speaks very good French. Look, I'm terribly sorry, senor. Quel fromage and all that. That'll hold him. They love it when you speak the old lingo.
So, Bertie, what are you doing here?
Well, likewise, old Fizzgig. Yeah, just business, you know. Business? Don't say you've broken the habit of a lifetime and actually found a job, Tuppy. No, I'll tell you what it is. You know how your Aunt Dahlia is always on about me working and earning a living and being able to support Angela after we get married and all that sort of stuff. Yes, well, aunts are like that, of course. I was saying to Jeeves only the other day. Well, I met this fellow at the Bottled Oyster, and he was telling me about this wonderful American car of his. Well, of course, I know quite a bit about cars, so I went outside to take a look. And he was right. An absolute corker. Look. Very snazzy. It is, isn't it? It's called a Spritz polecat, apparently. Just look at those chromium-plated pipe things sticking out of the front end. Yes, well, as a matter of fact... Anyway, there were a couple of us there. Barmy, Ufi, Prosser, Bingo, Ronnie Fish, all the usual crowd. And they were climbing all over it and asking where they could get one from. Well, and of course the answer is they can't. And I thought to myself, hello. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I sent a cable to the man who makes them, and I'm going to meet him in New York and become the sole importer of these desirable motors. There's a fortune in it, Bertie. Don't you have to buy these cars before you can sell them? Oh, that's the clever bit, you see. Barmy's given me the money to get him one, and he's agreed, well, sort of, that I can use it to show prospective customers for a week or two and get some more orders. So, you're just going to buy the one car?
I wish to see Mr. Wooster.
Who
who should I say?
I'm Lady Morgan. This is my son.
What-ho, what-ho, what-ho?
Oh, you're Mr. Wooster.
That's the chap.
I was surprised to see your name on the purser's list. Your aunt had told me that you were in Scotland.
Ah, well, yes, this is meant to be a surprise.
Ah, well, now, look, this is my son, Wilmot.
What-ho, Wilmot?
Hello.
I think you two are going to be great chums.
Oh, rather.
I shall be busy on my book for most of the trip, so I shall rely on you to keep young Wilmot out of mischief. He's a strict vegetarian and a teetotaler, and is devoted to reading. Give him a nice book, and he'll be quite contented. Thank you so much.
Yes, dear. Do you mind if I... Because there is a bit of restrictions. That's it. It's one of the hips, you see. It's a sort of gentle sway. Not this time. Heard of limpets, Jeeves?
The gastropod mollusk of the genus Patella, noted for adhering tightly to rocks, sir.
Exactly, Jeeves. Well, this blasted Pershaw seems to be noted for adhering tightly to Worcesters. Can't get rid of the blighter just as I'm about to click with some toothsome filly. Up pops Motty Pershaw to enliven proceedings by standing at my elbow like a wet weekend in Chalfont St. Giles.
Perhaps it is for the best, sir. Shipboard romances are notoriously transient.
I don't need Motty to protect me from heartbreak, Jeeves. Let me learn from my own mistakes, say I. I am willing to sacrifice myself.
A most commendable attitude, sir.
Oh, my lord. You haven't met Wilmot Pershaw, have you?
Isn't his mother that woman that spent the weekend in Rio and wrote that book, Whither Brazil?
That's the one. What-ho, Motty?
What-ho, Bertie?
Have you met Tuppy Glossop?
What-ho, Tuppy?
What-ho?
Mother doesn't like me saying that.
What?
What-ho. She doesn't like me whistling either.
Really?
Or putting my hands in my pockets.
I say, Motty, isn't it way past your bedtime?
Yes, I know. I was just going now. Pip, pip.
He's also a teetotaler.
Good Lord.
Still, one more day and he'll be off my hands. Well, there you are, Jeeves. The land of the free and the home of the brave.
Indeed, sir. Also the land of prohibition, sir.
Prohibition, Jeeves? You mean this system they've got of not being allowed to get a snootful?
Indeed, sir. Although I'm given to understand that certain subterfuges are used which ensure that ardent spirits are more readily available than hitherto.
She's a fair size, Jeeves.
Indeed, sir.
Puts one in mind of Honoria Glossop in that white dress she used to wear at Hunt Balls.
The similarity is a striking one, sir.
Now, Jeeves, why do you think they built all these tall buildings?
Well, sir, it was partly because of the restricted size of Manhattan Island, and partly because the island is solid granite and therefore capable of supporting such structures.
Nothing to do with having got the plan sideways, then?
No, sir.
That's what Barney told me.
Pardon me for saying so, sir. Mr. Fungi Phipps is not noted for his architectural expertise.
True, Jeeves, true.
Apartment 51, please. Mr. Wooster is the new tenant there, and I'm his manservant, Jeeves.
Apartment 51 it is. You gentlemen got some visitors.
There you are, you see, Jeeves. The natives are friendly, a welcoming party already.
You his what?
His manservant, his gentleman's personal gentleman, his valet.
What kind of dough you get for a job like that?
I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. I can only say that the remuneration is ample.
Remuneration? Divulge?
Where on earth have you been, Mr. Wooster? We disembarked an hour and a half ago.
Ah, yes, well, we had to fetch the key from the agents.
Well, it really is most inconvenient. I've got a train to catch in less than an hour.
Train?
Now, where will Wilmot sleep?
Sleep?
Ah. Oh, no. South-facing. No, Wilmot can't have too much sun.
What do you mean exactly, sleep?
Oh,
I'm staying here.
No, you're not. Why can't you go with your mother?
Ah. Oh, this one.
I get fearfully sick on trains.
Well, a hotel?
Oh, no, no. Wilmot is essentially a home bird, aren't you, my darling?
Yes, Mother.
Well, yes, but not my home.
Your Aunt Agatha was most anxious to get in touch with you, Mr. Wooster.
No.
There was talk of a young girl dreadfully wronged.
Wronged? No. All that happened was...
Hitherto, dear Wilmot has been sheltered from the temptations of a great city. It's such a relief to know that he'd be safe with you, Mr. Wooster. I shall rely on you. Now, I simply must go. It's essential that I catch the 11 o'clock train. I have to visit Sing Sing, and I'm terribly interested in prison conditions.
Well, yes, but...
And then I'm going to work my way across to the West Coast, visiting points of interest on my journey. No more than 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks will be ample. America from within. Isn't that a grand title, Mr. Wooster?
Well, yes, it's...
Now you're going to be a good boy, aren't you, Wilmot?
Yes, Mother.
And remember, I shall have to rely on you for most of my information about New York, so don't forget to take notes of your impressions. It's such a help. Goodbye, my darling. Bye, Mr. Wooster.
I'm left in charge of the pill.
Pill?
Partial. The excrescence Wilmot.
Gin and tonic or Scotch and soda?
Scotch, I think.
You know, this prohibition's not at all a bad thing, you know. I never really liked afternoon tea before.
Oh, do buck up, Tuppy.
Well, I'm nervous. You'll be nervous if you have to meet a total stranger tomorrow and have to try and persuade him you were an expert on cars.
Well, you were an expert on cars.
Yes, well, I know a fair bit. Look, ask me another question.
You're not going to learn anything from the boy's book of the automobile.
It's the only thing I could find. Go on, Bertie.
All right. Automobiles get thirsty, just like you and me. What do most automobiles most like to drink?
I don't understand that.
Petrol, you fathead.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, well, I hate those trick questions. Mr. Stoker's not going to ask me trick questions, is he?
Stoker? Not J. Washburn Stoker, by any chance?
Yes, that's the chap. Do you know him?
I should say I do. I was engaged to his daughter.
Really? What happened?
J. Washburn Stoker happened. If there's one thing in this life I do not relish, it's running into J. Washburn Stoker again. Let's have another question.
Roar! Roar, old Lion City! Roar! Roar, my half-formed didn't...
Wait a minute. Don't I know you?
Yes, it's...
Bertie Wooster, yes, you're Rocky Todd the poet, aren't you? We met at Buffy Bingham's birthday in London.
Buffy Bingham?
Yes, not to be confused with Beefy Bingham, who's his brother, but you could easily tell them apart because Beefy wears his collar back to front, unlike Buffy. Well, anything but.
I remember. We went to that really great club of yours.
That's right, and this is Tuppy Glossop. You met him there, too.
Yes, I was the one with the firework in my hat.
Oh, sure, Tuppy, sure. Hey, this is great.
I thought you never came to New York.
Oh, this is the first time in 6 months. I just came to visit my publisher.
Well, why don't we all go and get some dinner?
Rather?
Great idea. Hey, wait a minute. Din of the city. City without pity. This is good.
Jeeves.
Good morning, sir.
Out on the town?
Scarcely, sir. Lord Pershaw ran out of money, sir, and the establishment responsible was holding him hostage for the bill.
Good Lord, Jeeves, what on earth's the matter with him? Has he had some sort of dashed fit or something? Jeeves, someone's been feeding him meat.
Sir?
He's a vegetarian, you know. He's probably been digging into a steak or something. Well, fetch a doctor.
I hardly think that will be necessary, sir.
Oh, Jeeves. You don't think he's under the sauce, do you?
I fear so, sir.
Good Lord, Jeeves. What would his mother say?
One does not like to contemplate it, sir.
So, how you doing, Mr. Glossop?
Oh, hello there. Are you Mr. Stoker?
I sure am. So, you want to sell my little Spritz polecat in England, do you?
Yes. Well, what I'd like to do...
You know, my daughter's going to marry an Englishman. I don't suppose you know him.
No, I don't suppose I do.
His name's Lord Chuffnell of Chuffnell Regis.
Yes, well, I do know Tuppy.
Ah, now, I'm sure you've noticed, Mr. Stoker, but they've put your steering wheel on the wrong side.
Now, I'll tell you right off, Mr. Glossop. I don't intend to make a special model with a right-hand drive.
Right-hand drive?
I got my production line running, and I don't intend to disrupt it. Well, that is until you start to sell 1,000 cars a week.
Right-hand drive, eh?
Why do you keep saying right-hand drive?
Oh, nothing, just mulling it over, you know.
You want the steering wheel and the gas pedal and the brake on the right-hand side of the car.
Oh, I see.
Daddy, I was just on my way to Bloomingdale's.
Oh, hello, honey. This is, Mr. Glossop. He's English. This is my daughter, Pauline, that I was telling you about.
How do you do, Mr. Glossop? Are you over here on business?
Ah! What ho, Bertie?
Tuppy, old fruit. How did it go with old man Stoker?
Pretty well, I think. I was fairly impressive, though I do say so myself. I say, Bertie, what a wonderful girl she is.
Who is?
Pauline Stoker, of course. She's just the sort of girl I ought to marry, you know.
Tuppy, she's engaged to Chuffy Chuffnell.
Yes, she mentioned something about that. I don't think it's, no, I don't think it's serious.
My dear old Tuppy, one cannot just ignore the fact that a girl is engaged to be married to a chum, and what's more, a fellow drone.
Can't one just?
And while we're at it, you're engaged to my cousin Angela.
I'm disappointed in you, Wooster. A gentleman would not have mentioned that.
Ah, Jeeves. Any sign of young Motty yet?
Lord Pershaw is awake, sir, and in good spirits.
Is he, by Jove?
I'm preparing a luncheon, sir. Lord Pershaw expressed a desire for sustenance not entirely satisfied by porridge, scrambled eggs, 5 rashers of bacon, mushrooms, toast, and marmalade.
Good Lord, Jeeves. The man must have the constitution of a yak.
Precisely the ruminant I had in mind, sir.
Come in. Ah, what ho, Motty? What ho, Bertie? You ate something last night that disagreed with you, did you?
No, nothing of the kind. I drank too much. Much too much. Lots and lots too much. And once more, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it every night.
Yes, yes, right. You see, the thing is, Motty, I'm sort of responsible for you, so to speak, and if you carry on like this, I'm liable to end up neck deep in the soup with your mother.
Oh, I can't help your troubles, old thing. This is the first time in my life I've had the chance to yield to the temptations of a great city.
Well, yes, but Motty,
Don't think. All my bally life I've been cooped up in the ancestral home in Much Middlefold in Shropshire. Until you've been cooped up in Much Middlefold in Shropshire, you don't know what cooping is. This is my only chance to assemble a disreputable past, and I'm going to take it.
He seems to have chucked every principle of a well-spent boyhood and got it right up his nose.
It is often the way, sir, when the shackles of familial piety have been loosened.
I can see nothing for it, Jeeves. I shall have to stick with him. Try and keep the gaiety under some sort of control.
Very good, sir. Lord Pershaw is dressing now, sir. He seems anxious to get out, as he puts it, on the tiles.
Oh, good grief, Jeeves. Hat, then.
Very good, sir.
No, Jeeves, my American hat.
Very good, sir.
Yeah, doesn't look at all bad, does it?
A violin case would complete the effect very creditably, sir.
All right, Jeeves, we shall say no more about it. I think the hat looks fairly doggy. You are not convinced of its dogginess. We'll agree to differ. Now, what has Lord Pershaw got planned for today, do you know?
What do you want?
I saw her in
Sure, it's kind of late to be coming home, sir.
Ah, yes, well, you know how it is.
No, sir, I don't, Mr. Wooster. Praise be, I don't.
My friend is suffering from an unfortunate attack of food poisoning.
Did I say anything, sir?
Oh, Jeeves, this is getting a bit thick.
Indeed, sir.
I can't take much more of this, Jeeves.
It is hard, sir.
I can hear music, Jeeves.
Of a kind, sir. Lord Pershaw informed me that he brought home a few friends last night.
There's a dog in there.
That will be Rollo, sir. His lordship informed me that he purchased the animal from a Norwegian seaman.
You tried to bite me.
No doubt in time the creature will learn to distinguish your peculiar scent, sir.
What do you mean, my peculiar scent? Jeeves, I do not intend to hang about in my bedroom while life slips by, in the hope that one of these days some dratted animal decides that I smell all right.
Very good, sir.
Yeah. Jeeves, I've decided. I'm going away, and this afternoon by the next train. You remember Mr. Todd, Jeeves?
No, sir.
Yes, you do, Jeeves.
Very good, sir.
He's a poet. Anyway, I met him again the other night with Tuppy, and he invited me to go and stay with him at Long Island, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some peace and quiet if it's the last thing I do. So you better get along to Western Union, send him a telegram warning him to put the fatted calf on gas mark 6.
Very good, sir. Do you wish me to accompany you, sir?
I think not, Jeeves. You better stay behind to ensure that Motti doesn't burn down the old homestead.
As you wish, sir.
So, how do you like my little country estate here, Mr. Glossop?
Little? I wouldn't call it little. I mean, well, you've got everything. A swimming pool, a tennis court, stables.
Well, you know, we like to keep ourselves busy. Now then, I think it's about time that we get down to the nuts and bolts of your little business venture.
Not so little, Daddy, if Hildebrand's going to be the sole importer of the polecat.
Maybe and maybe not. What size order were you thinking of as of here and now, Hildebrand?
Size of order?
Hildebrand obviously hasn't come all this way just to buy 1 or 2 cars, Daddy.
Sure. How many?
Well, obviously not just, well, They come cheaper by the dozen, I suppose, like eggs.
Well, obviously, the more cars you buy, the better deal you get.
Well, let's start off with 4.
4?
4 dozen, Daddy.
Ah, quite. Quite. 4 dozen.
Where's the house? I haven't seen a light for 20 minutes.
Up the track there.
Oh, is it far?
Just to the end of the track. Good night.
What time it is?
Almost supper time. 20 past 8.
Oh, my God.
Well, this is a bit awkward. I sent you a telegram. It was still in your mailbox.
Hang on. Who is that?
Bertie and Wooster.
Bertie! Ho-ho! Hey, how you doing? Stay a week? Stay a month? Have a drink?
No, I'll have the drink, but I can only stay a week if that's all right. Peace and quiet, Rocky, that's what I crave.
Fine, fine, that's great. Come on in. Oh, nice to see you.
Everybody loves my baby, but my baby loves nobody but me. Nobody but me. Everybody wants my baby, but my baby don't want nobody but me. That's all to see.
Jeeves, we're just going out for a while.
Okay. Very good, my lord.
Operator?
Get me the police.
What ho, Rocky?
Oh, hi, Bertie. Enjoying yourself?
Oh, fantastic, yes.
Sure. Nice and quiet around here.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, Rocky, what else does one do for excitement around here?
Excitement? Oh, you ought to be here in the winter. We get pretty high winds around here in the winter. Blowing the snow off the trees, blowing the... Oh, I don't know what all.
Good Lord.
Bertie!
Tuppy! What on earth are you doing here?
Well, I rang your flat. Jeeves told me you were here.
I'm staying at the Stoker's place up the road. Bertie, I need your help.
4 dozen? Or 48? Oh, what else could I do? Pauline was watching. Her eyes shining. What have her eyes got to do with it? Look, I couldn't just order 1 car. I'd look such a fool. Well, look an even bigger fool when you have to tell old man Stoker that, come to think of it, you don't want 47 of them after all, thank you very much. But I can't, Bertie. It's too late. Too late? Why? I'll tell you later. Yes. This'll do, driver. Thank you.
The problem is, Bertie, I gave Stoker a cheque.
Well, how much for?
Get down! Get down! Oh, Pauline! Isn't she wonderful, Bertie?
How much was the cheque for, Tuppy?
$57,000.
$57,000? That's about £10,000.
I know that. £10,203, 14 shillings and 4 pence. Get down, get down.
Oh, now what? I'm not a dirty mole, you know.
No, I know that, but you can see the house from here.
Very nice.
Now, that's my room, 2nd floor, 1, 2, 3, yes, 3 along from the left.
Well, why don't you put an X underneath it?
Now, we're all going to be out at dinner this evening, so the house will be empty. So,
if you think I'm going to risk my neck breaking into J. Washburn Stoker's house to steal back your dratty cheque, then you are suffering from one of the more dramatic forms of brain fever. The last time I had any social contact with Stoker, he was going to kick my trousers up through my hat. And then I hadn't even thought of burgling his house. I was only engaged to his daughter.
Bertie, it couldn't be simpler. Now, I'll keep my window open. I know how to turn off the burglar alarm, and it's the servants' night off. Couldn't be simpler. Oh, I forgot my hat. Forgot my hat. Hat. Got the hat.
Darn it, Pauline, I forgot to turn on the burglar alarm.
Oh, Daddy, you didn't.
We'd better go back.
We can't. We're late already. There aren't any burglars in West Neck anyway. Keep going.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's time somebody started living right. Because somebody is starting to look a little worn, if you know what I mean.
Jeeves?
Good morning, sir.
Where's that blasted dog, Jeeves? You got him tied up?
The animal is no longer here, sir. Lord Pershaw gave him to the porter, sir, who sold him. His lordship took a prejudice against the beast on account of having been bitten in the calf of the leg, sir.
Excellent. Excellent, Jeeves. Well, perhaps I misjudged the little fellow. Is Lord Pershaw in?
No, sir.
You expecting him back for lunch?
No, sir.
Where is he, do you know?
In prison, sir.
Prison?
He assaulted a constable who was attempting to arrest him for disorderly behaviour, sir.
But, Jeeves, this is frightful. How could you let him do it? What on earth is Lady Malvern going to say?
I rather fancy his bit of time will have run out by then, sir.
Well, yes, but supposing it hasn't.
In that event, sir, it may be judicious to prevaricate a little. If I might make the suggestion, sir, I should inform her ladyship that his lordship has left for a short visit to Boston. Boston is a very respectable centre, sir.
Jeeves, I think you may have hit it.
Thank you, sir. With respect, sir, this is perhaps the best thing that could have happened.
Oh, I don't see that.
Had this temporary immuration not intervened, sir, it is highly likely that his lordship would have ended up in a sanatorium by the time Lady Malvern returned.
You're probably right, Jeeves. The last time I saw him, he only looked a couple of steps away from the Happy Tablet Academy. Now, Jeeves, I must tell you what happened last night. Mr. Glossop has got himself into a spot of bother with the Stokers. In love with the daughter, in debt to the dad.
Yes, sir. Mr. Glossop was kind enough to put me in the picture when he telephoned earlier.
Did he ask for your advice, Jeeves?
Not precisely, sir. He expressed an eager desire to lay hands upon you, sir.
Did he, by George?
That was the way he expressed himself, sir.
Well, I wouldn't mind laying hands on him, as a matter of fact. He was the one who didn't turn the blasted alarm off.
He did mention that he would be lunching at Oscar's Delmonico at 1 o'clock this afternoon, sir. Perhaps you might find him there.
So there you are, you blighter. Be a blighter. You're the blighter. You didn't get that blasted check. You didn't turn the blasted alarm off.
I did. It's just that Stoker forgot to turn it on, so it was off. So when I turned it off, I turned it on.
What?
I thought Stoker had turned it on, but he hadn't. He turned it
God, here's Stoker.
What am I going to do, Bertie? If he cashes that check, I'm... Bertie? Hello, Pauline. Mr. Stoker, do sit down. Would you care for a dry martini before we order lunch? Mr. Stoker?
I'll have a bourbon and branch water, please.
Yeah, waiter. The gentleman would like, what's it called? Oh, yes, a pot of coffee.
Well, Mr. Glossop, I suppose this lunch is to celebrate our little business deal.
Well, in a sense, yes.
How dare you?
What?
What's the matter, Pauline?
It's all right, Daddy.
Ah, yes, I'll start shipping your first 6 cars in about 10 days.
Well, that would be wonderful, but,
Mr. Gossip!
What is it?
Waiter!
What the hell is going on here? And who the blazes is that? You! Can't you keep your table in order? Push off! Waiter! Why do you let these poor folks in here?
Poor?
It's Bertie Wooster. Well, well, well.
Well, yourself, old fruit.
Gossip! What was that man doing under our table?
Don't be silly, Daddy. It's Bertie Wooster.
I know perfectly well who it is, Pauline. I'm not likely to forget your ill-judged engagement to him.
What ho, Mr. Stoker? Here we are again, what?
Just what were you doing under our table?
Well, I was just looking for a spoon.
That is, an old chum.
An old chum?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Glossop. I do not intend to be in business with anybody who is an old chum of Mr. Wooster.
That's not fair, Daddy. It's not Hildebrand's fault that he knows Bertie.
I'm not in the business of being fair, Pauline. I am in the business of making money and protecting my family's good name.
Oh, he's tearing paper now.
Your check, Mr. Gossip. And if you came to me on bended knees and begged me to accept another one, I would spurn you. You got that? Spurn you! Come on, Pauline. Well, I got rid of him.
Bye, Bertie.
Well, there you are, old Fizzgig. As I've just saved you £10,200, 14 shillings and 4pence, I think you can treat me to a bit of lunch.
She's gone, Bertie. The only woman I've loved.
Yes, got a useful right hook.
I'll never see her again.
The bouillabaisse is rather good here, I've heard. They don't do any soft-shell crab, do they?
All right, keep it moving.
Tell me, Warden, what measures would you take here at Blackwell's Island prison if one of these desperate creatures tried to escape?
Men have orders to shoot first and ask questions later, Lady Malvern.
Very proper. I was thinking...
Pick that up. Keep moving. All right, leave him be. Come on, Limey, get moving. Just a minute.
Jeeves! Jeeves?
Lady Malvern. Well. So, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Had a pleasant trip?
Oh, extremely, thank you. I do hope that Wilmot wasn't in your way, Mr. Wooster.
Oh, rather not. No, great pals. No, we hit it off splendidly. Saw all the sights, you know, Museum of Art in the morning, and then a spot of lunch at some nice, quiet vegetarian place, and then in the afternoon, toddle along to some concert or other, and then home for an early dinner.
Really?
Yes, and then we normally play dominoes after dinner, and then early to bed for a refreshing sleep. We had a great time. I was only sorry when he went away to Boston.
Oh, Wilmot is in Boston, is he?
Yes. He just upped one morning and said, I'm going to Boston. And then, sort of went to Boston. Extraordinary thing. Still very respectable sort of place, Boston, you know, not likely to come to any harm in Boston, but Lord, no.
It hadn't count, Mr. Wooster, but the fact that when I went to Blackwell's Island prison to collect some material for my book, I saw poor dear Wilmot there, dressed in a striped suit, walking the exercise yard with a pack of criminals.
Good Lord, really? Well...
So, this is how you've been looking after my poor dear boy, Mr. Wooster. I left him in your charge, thinking that I could rely on you to shield him from evil. And you led him astray. Well, no, you have deliberately done the...
Mother! Good heavens. I've just been to, Buffalo. No, Baltimore. Hang on. Jeeves, where have I just been? Begins with a B, I know.
Prisons, eh?
That's right. No!
Perhaps I can explain, your ladyship.
You?
When Mr. Wooster informed your ladyship that his lordship was in Boston, he was relying on the version I had given him of his lordship's movements. Mr. Wooster was away visiting a friend in the country at the time and knew nothing of the matter until your ladyship explained it to him just now.
What?
As he had grown so attached to his lordship and taken such pains to look after him, it might have been hard to persuade Mr. Wooster that your son went to prison voluntarily and from the best motives. But your ladyship, knowing him better, will readily understand.
Wilmot, you went to prison voluntarily?
Yes. Yes.
His lordship was frequently depressed at how little he was doing to help collect material for your ladyship's book on America.
No, I was. Yeah.
I find that very hard to believe.
But surely, your ladyship, it is more reasonable to suppose that a gentleman of Lord Pershaw's character would go to prison of his own volition.
No, I did. I went of my own, what he said.
Rather than by committing some breach of the law which would necessitate his arrest.
Oh, I didn't. Look, I can prove it. I've got all the notes I made in prison for the book.
Wilmot, you did all this. Oh, how could I have doubted you? Look, Mr. Wooster, look. Look what he's done. Mr. Wooster, I owe you an apology. I have done you a great injustice. I should have had more faith in dear Wilmot's fine and pure spirit.
Absolutely.
Come along, my darling. Goodbye, Mr. Wooster, and thank you.
Jeeves, you are a lifesaver.
Thank you.
You made sure that the Stokers met me with Tuppy, too, didn't you, Jeeves?
It did seem the surest way of securing the return of Mr. Glossop's cheque, sir, yes.
Now, Jeeves, that Al Capone hat of mine.
Yes, sir?
Get rid of it, would you? Burn it or something?
I've already taken the liberty of disposing of it, sir.
Going down.